It's time for Transport Line. It's time for Transport Line, the program that showcases the contributions for all modes of transportation to the socio-economic growth and development of our country, Africa, and the rest of the world. Transport Line is being beamed to you from the Center of Excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's second largest economy, Lagos. I am Shina Elegbede. Glad to know that you are keeping us company. The much talked about Mende Okpebbi Link Road bridge has been commissioned. And I tell you, the commissioning ceremony attracted who is who in APC. Mr. President was represented by the Senate President. And since then, it's been another feather added to the history of road infrastructure development in Lagos State. So, on Transport Line, this episode will focus on how we are going to leverage on the socio-economic effect of this particular bridge on the life of the citizenry. Joining me on set is Olusola Ogunyakin, a transportation consultant and of course a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. Olusola, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Shola, the much talked about Mende Okpebbi Link Bridge has been commissioned, and here we are. The first issue I want to take up with you is how do we leverage on this to make sure that we really benefit from it?
Well, we thank God for everything. It's good that it's been commissioned, but it's not yet opened. We learned that it will not be opened until another 2 months thereabout. I still think there are still some things, maybe technical things, that need to be done. First, I must commend the state government for the initiative. The road, we were told, will have a cyclist session and a pedestrian session. And that is bringing modernization into road construction in Nigeria, because most of the roads in Lagos don't have these separate facilities. So we commend the government. Generally, that part of Lagos sometimes is a nightmare to go through. Maryland axis, Ojota axis, Okpebbi Allen, Kudirat Abiola Way, all those roads that are linked to this Okpebbi Ojota bridge will be decongested once that road is opened. And that decongestion will bring a sigh of relief to so many people. First, to the people that are directly on Okpebbi Toyin Street. I mean, now they don't have to go through Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way before they hit Ikorodu Road. It's just a short 5 kilometer thereabout distance. And this will definitely, a lot of things. Let's start from fuel. The cost of fueling now, every liter counts. So every kilometer that you save, you have saved a lot of money. So individuals will save money, definitely. Now, when we look at the distribution industry, logistics, supply chain, it means you can get to places faster, which means you will save fuel, you will save time. Now, cost of time, you can't put, I mean, it's almost infinite because time is money. So the fact that that road will save people a lot of time means that generally productivity would improve. So, I mean, people will get to work early and, more importantly, less stressed. Because stress is something that we live with in Lagos, that it even affects our mental health. Because, I mean, driving in Lagos, especially in those axes, when you get into the hold-ups that usually happen on Otoyin or Kwebi Allen, sometimes you may lose yourself in it. The driving habits of Lagosians, the bike riders, the courier bus carriers, the way they meander and all that thing, that will reduce, because the time now for you to travel to enter the Ikorodu Expressway is shorter, and that will bring a lot of relief. So a number of things, that short road, 5.4 kilometers, will save a lot of lives, will save a lot of time, will save a lot of businesses, and before long, properties will appreciate in that area. Once that road is opened, properties in that area, the value will appreciate, rent will appreciate, because everybody now knows that it's easier for you to get to Ikorodu Road, and from Ikorodu Road you can get to Link, Third Mainland Bridge, Link anywhere. So it's a fantastic thing for the government to have done.
Well, while we still avail the proper opening of the place for the usage of the public, one would like to preempt as regards the issue of security on that bridge. Like you did mention, we know that insecurity is not peculiar to Lagos State. But when you compare Lagos State with most states in Nigeria, if it's not the best secured, it's one of the best. But that notwithstanding, there is no society where you have criminally minded people. And that brings to the fore the issue of security. Security, maintenance of those infrastructure along that axis, those who apply that road, and of course, you have many sources of power supply today. But how do we make sure that that place is well lit? Because when a place is well lit, it's a major deterrent to those who are criminally minded. What is your take on this?
And I think lightning is probably one of the reasons why it's not been opened for use. So I expect that the place will be well lit by preferably solar light. But that road in itself will improve security around that area, because under the Ojota Bridge, before now,
Yes.
we know very
It was a
unscrupulous
den.
people
Yes.
were. But now that that place is open,
Yes.
and vehicular traffic will be high, so those people hiding under those places, of course, definitely, it's also easier for policemen and all other traffic agents to monitor the place now, because it's now going to be open. Once that place is open, it's going to be busy, because it's a shortcut. So the idea, I mean, what was happening under the Ojota Bridge before, Doyalaru and all those things there, a lot of it now will be cancelled, because there will be more frequent passers, and which means, of course, police, they will always be there. I mean, I know police used to stand under the bridge to do their own nefarious activities in the past. But now, once that place is littered and is open and there is frequency, I mean, the traffic is constant, security will not be a very big issue, because everybody's eyes will be there. So it will be difficult. I mean, people snatch phones and just jump over to those places. That's where the roads are now. So it will be difficult. So for all those people operating on the Odoyalaro Bridge and the rest, I think their time is up when the road is open. So it's also a good thing to improve the security of that area.
Now, talking about security, Shola, I look at the underneath the Odoyalaro Bridge. We now be turned into another thing by either members of the interstate vehicles operators, or by mechanics and what have you. What I'm saying is that the task force in Lagos State should monitor the place 24/7. Not a question of you come today, you drive them away, after a few months you see them again, or you find out that when you drive them away, you find some patrol vehicles coming to collect what they call quote and unquote tolls. And that should not be. When we're talking about security, all hands should be on deck.
I expect the Lagos State government, if you spent that much to fix this road, I expect them to monitor it as well in terms of allowing misuse. So I still don't see the road unions or transport unions, I can't see where they can turn into a garage there. I can't see it, because this road will be so important when it's opened, because everybody coming from Ikeja, all that hold up that usually occurs on Bankano Tony Way would fizzle out.
Yes.
So a lot of traffic will be diverted onto this new road. So if the government will now allow some miscreants or unions to turn it into a garage or an illegal bus stop, I don't think they will allow it, because that will be an issue, because that would defeat the whole purpose of creating that new road.
I wish I could be that optimistic like you are, because we've seen many bridges that were constructed in Lagos, especially metropolitan Lagos. Call it Ikeja, call it Lagos Island, Milan, what have you. Before you know it, the yellow buses, Keke Napep, and what have you will take over. And it adds to the insecurity we have today.
The difference with this is there are not too many. When we look at Okpebi, it's not, how will I describe it? It's a high-end living area. What I'm trying to say is the Okpebi end and even the Ojota end, you don't find miscreants there. In terms of people living there, apart from students, hardly do you see people trekking around those places. So the kind of people that live there are not the kind of people that attract commercial buses. They are not the kind of people that attract commercial buses or keke or the rest, because most of the people living there are mobile, one way or another. Now that fuel is going up and people are dropping their vehicles, maybe there will be some traction in terms of pedestrians and the rest. And that is what the unions and the motor park people are looking for. So it will take time before they build the clientele that will enable them to say, we want a park here.
Yes, we want to prevent or preempt.
Definitely,
So
the government will be looking at it. Definitely.
Good. We will also look at the issue of, we've spoken about security. You mentioned the aspect of special lane being created for motorcyclists. We don't know whether that same lane will be used by Okada riders. When we say Okada riders, we are not talking about those using it to commute passengers from point A to B. Probably the courier service people and what have you.
It's not supposed to be used by any motorized vehicle.
Good.
So if it is for bicycles, bicycles are not motorized. So no matter how small your vehicle is, once it has an engine and it's motorized, you are not supposed to ply the bicycle lane. It's only for bicycles, carts, and maybe wheelchairs and the rest. But once your vehicle is motorized, even mobilette, it's not supposed to pass.
Shola, thank you, Mobilite. Those days, you thank
yeah.
God. Mobilite on old Katabi, first Katabi, not the one that's now been dismantled, the first one. You have lane for it. Fantastic. And you have law and order. Not what we have today. You see, today, one is not sounding too pessimistic, but the way things are as of today, the National Union of Road Transport Workers operators are never law abiding.
It is because the government allows it.
So that is why one is sounding this note of warning.
It is because the government allows it. Whatever the government allows happens. I mean, lawlessness in Lagos is because the government allows it. There was a governor in Lagos that banned Okada, and it was effective. And everybody obeyed the rules. Those that did not obey the rules were arrested. And another government came and decided that no, it's not necessary. And then they keep increasing,
We see the ripple effect on us.
Yes, we see it.
Because
so if there is lawlessness, it is because the government allows it.
I always marvel. You go to our nearest neighbor, Republic of Benin, and see the way God saves you, if the gendarme blows a whistle on you, like they say, you are done for. But not only in Lagos, in Nigeria, they will say "Ewo ni eje," which is terrible.
One of the sad things about governance in Nigeria and law enforcement in Nigeria is that the law enforcement personnel are the biggest lawbreakers.
You are right. You are right.
And that's why it's difficult. Don't ride on BRT lane. It is law enforcement officers, policemen, and security
members of the armed forces.
They are the ones
Yes.
that break that law. So it's difficult because you can't ask a policeman to arrest another policeman, less an army officer. So until the government puts its foot down on some of these things and say, no, I don't want it. And it's possible, it's been done.
You see, Shola, that aspect, when I was growing up, you would never see a military vehicle, whether Navy, Air Force, Army, with the commander or the officer in charge, the flag being flown, and you see the driver violating. But today, you see the 1-star, 2-star general, you see the plate number, and
They are the ones, they think they are above the law, at least in Lagos.
No, it's not only in Lagos. The issue is, we see right from the top, from the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff. If you talk to your officers and men and pass it down and you lead by example, nothing of such will happen.
Lead by example.
But unfortunately, let's move back to the realm of Okpebi. I also envisage, yes, you see, we know that it is where you have traffic gridlock, or simply put, hold up, that you have street traders. But I tell you, no matter what, one way or the other, there will be traffic hold up on that bridge. Because either through from the bottleneck from Okpebi, or from Ojota, or through breakdown, the issue is, do we have laybys? We have vehicles can easily be pushed or towed there.
It's part of the design.
It's part of the design. Shola, just wait. Look, it's like we're talking about lawlessness. Majority of the crime being committed, there are penalty for in the statute book. They are in the statute book. But you see members of the what do you call it, bar and bench, with all respect to them, some members, they will compromise their services. Members of the executive, politicians, they will compromise. Members of the fourth estate of the realm, they will compromise. Compromise in the sense that majority of us don't have the interest of this larger society called Nigeria. It is me and only. We don't know the ripple effect. And you see, when you look at fantastic road infrastructure being put in place, and if not being properly used, and when we're talking about leveraging on its importance as regards socioeconomic growth and development of the people, we won't get there. So what should be done? Yes, whether we like it or not, sooner than later, be open for the public to apply. But we must be prepared. Even those who are supposed to patrol, members of the security office, must be as a cookie jar. Even those of us who are civilians too, it's like, look, you're in a commercial vehicle and you violate. You find members, commuters, encouraging drivers to violate the law. I think everybody involved should be sanctioned and face the law.
You see, a lot of things depend on us, the users. There are places, you mentioned Benin Republic. It's already in the people to obey the laws.
The orientation.
Yes. It's absurd for somebody to just drive one way. It's absurd. You won't even think of it because you don't see people do it.
Yes.
But here, it is police car that you will see first, breaking the rule. And then others will follow. To us here, there is nothing abnormal. And that is the abnormal thing about Nigeria. We don't take anything as abnormal.
In our country.
In our country.
You go next door. Next country, you obey the law.
Yes. But here, we don't take anything as, let me say it this way, oju otiwa. we are not ashamed of doing wrong
Wrong
things. So everybody does it because my neighbor did it, then I can do it.
Or because I am this, or I'm son of
Yes,
this, I
yes.
have brother.
So we are unashamed. So all these discussions shouldn't be coming up in a country where we have law and order. But unfortunately, we don't have law and order.
No, we have law, we don't have order.
Okay, we have law.
Yeah, we don't have
We
order.
don't have orders.
Yes.
Okay, the law is for the poor. Because when you become an elite, the policeman will see you, they will salute you even when you are breaking the law.
Ah,
Whereas they will arrest somebody else.
God save the king now. That is Charles. They say,
So-
Mr.
so-
Governor, sir, you are him. You
So
Mr.
every
Governor,
one
I'm
of
telling
us-
you, sir,
Yeah.
sir, all the time. You are him for it.
Yes. Every one of us will first need to change our attitudes to the way we use public facilities. And that is when it can be useful to all of us. So it's not just government, it's all of us, like you said. We need to change our attitude to the use of public utilities. So safety. Okay, for example, nobody forces anybody in this country you just mentioned to use seat belts when driving. It is natural. Once you sit in the car, you automatically put on your seatbelt.
Clink along the seatbelt.
Here, until you see road safety officers in front, a lot of people won't remember to put on the seatbelt. So we are so lackadaisical about things of our own personal safety. So, and those are the things that affect all other things we do.
Shola, we thank you for always having time to come on Transport Line. This discussion really is based on how we are going to make better use of those infrastructure. See, when government is investing on traffic management and transportation, the little members of the public can do or to reciprocate is to use it as somebody that appreciate that it is their taxpayers' money that has been used to put all these things in place, and that again safety starts from me and you.
Yes.
That way we have a better society.
Yes.
Don't forget, everything has gone up, so don't think of getting sick or being involved in an accident. If you take to the hospital, by the time they give you the bills, God prevent bad thing. Shola, appreciate you always, all the time, for finding time to call on Transport Line. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that discussion really is to prepare us for the opening, official, formal opening to the public of Mende Okpebi Link Bridge. That bridge is one of the fantastic projects that we decongest traffic management and transportation in this capital of the center of excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's second largest economy, Lagos. Don't forget, this is a black man's own state. Lagos is where, if you come with genuine intention, you will make it. Like they say, all you do is the halal way, you make it. Even if you do the haram way, the legal way, one day or the other, sooner than later, will be caught. And that will be your Waterloo without going to Britain. Well, the US-Israel Iranian war is still there, and that has really affected the inflationary trend in the country. So how do you do it? Transportation, only involve yourself on what? Productive journeys. And finally, continue to be your brother's keeper. Compassion is the key word. Never mind the national growth statistics. Inflation is going down. Well, how many Nigerians has the economic power, purchasing power, to purchase goods and everything? So compassion is the key word. That way we have a better society. Till next time, bye bye for now.